Darran Griffiths. I am 32 years old. I am from Harlow, Essex, and I've been doing comedy for 4.5 years now. I got into comedy, I guess I can tell a long story, you can chop it up how you want. But I got into comedy, basically I was on a personal development course that my brother suggested for me to go on, and they asked in the room who here is reasonable, and I put my hand up. My nickname at school was the voice of reason, so I was like, yeah, I'll go up. And they asked basically what I wanted to do in my life, and I basically told them how my life has gone. And the guy basically called me a sellout because I didn't do the things I said I wanted to be. I wanted to be an architect when I was younger, I didn't bother to do that. And then he goes, okay, time to be unreasonable. If you could pick anything to do in the world, what would it be? And I started thinking, he goes, no, don't think, just say something from your gut. And I went, comedy. And he's like, okay, why? And I told him why I wanted to do it, just what happened when I was younger and the experiences I had. And he goes, okay, well, you've got 15 minutes in this break to make a step towards comedy. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that because you have to find it out. This is how you're going to find out new opportunities. Just go and find out how to do it. And you have to take a step towards comedy. So in that 15 minutes, booked myself on this weekend course, 2-day course, £99. Because I wasn't going to do no 12-week course where you learn how to hold a microphone and shit. I know how to hold a microphone. So I was like, yeah, so I thought, all right, cool. Did the course, did my, and you had to do like a little kind of showcase at the end of your 10-hour course. And I did that, and then from then on, it was like, okay, cool, how do I get into comedy? And one thing I was told is don't say you're trying to be a comedian, say you are a comedian. And I was in a barber shop, and I just moved to the area, and the guy goes, what do you do? And I was like, comedy, I'm a comedian. These times I didn't even have any gigs booked, but I said, I'm a comedian. He goes, oh, when am I going to see, oh, where can I see you next? And I was like, yeah, that's kind of mad. I ain't got anything booked yet, but yeah, I'll let you know. And then one guy overheard me say that I was a comedian. He goes, oh, you should hit up my friend. I was like, who's your friend? He goes, I'll just DM him. His name's Kane. I went, Kane? Like Kane Brown? He's like, yeah, just drop a message, say you want a gig if you're a comedian. I was like, okay, I've kind of seen this guy before, but he's awesome, and he also roasts everyone in the crowd. So why am I now gonna talk to this guy unsolicited? But I did it. Well, what's the worst that will happen? He'll ignore me. And so I messaged him, said, can I get 5 minutes? And he goes, yeah, man. When you've got 5 minutes of material, let me know. So I've got 5 minutes. I didn't have 5 minutes, but I said I've got 5 minutes because come to Hideaway, and it was bank holiday weekend in May. And on that same bill, it was Travis J, Will E, Kane was MCing, and Kojo headlined. And little old me, I came on just before Kojo, between Travis J and Kojo. That's when I did my first 5 minutes in front of a bank holiday weekend at Hideaway, which was around 250 people, with what I thought was 5 minutes of material. It was about 2.
I do remember when I went to a pub, right, and this when racism, like, it was really in my face. I know sometimes people, speaks a lot of black people, I prefer racism being in my face, so I know where I stand, there's no bullshit. Not me, I'm not that kind of black guy. No, please keep your racism subtle and in your head. Keep me guessing. Right? Make me look paranoid about shit. I prefer that. I think that guy's racist. Darren, he just likes wearing a white hood. Leave him alone.
Yeah, so what Hideaway's like? Hideaway is, it's an urban night. It's a black room. It's South London. It's Sunday night, and it's a coin toss really, because some nights it's packed and you're in the big room and everyone, especially if it's that back holiday, everyone's just there, just ready to have a laugh, but they're also ready to tell you if they're not having a laugh. And like I said, it's South London, so things can get a bit real sometimes. And and I'd been there as a guest, as audience before, so I'd seen it go left for comedians. So I was bricking it. I was shook. First, I can't remember the first joke I wrote because I did that 5 minutes at that like comedy workshop. But the first joke that I wrote, I thought that's a proper joke, and it was in my hour that I did, and it's I'm from a place called Harlow, Essex. It's a very white town. Last census, 95% white. The other 5% was just white people who didn't understand the question, and that was. I remember writing that, going, yeah, that's a proper joke. That's a joke. I could write jokes.
When we talk about Irish pubs, I do love a pub. I love a pub. So much so that sometimes I forget that I'm black. I go into a pub. No, because sometimes I go into like those really rural pubs. Now they've got England flags in the window, and it's not World Cup year. I walk into the pub, the music stops. Even the guy with his dog's looking at me. He's just like, oh. Go to the bar, they're all confused. Like, hello. I don't see your type around here much. How can I help you? So I'm in a pub. Like, give me a drink, please. Okay, is that it? I was like, hey, give me the money! I'm not robbing you.
Worst performance. I can't remember what the worst, but I know the worst I felt was I was doing a competition. It was like the Comedy X Factor. It was at Camden Centre, like 400 people, and it was like an elimination tournament. Like the first 4 people went out, they got like a chair on stage, and anyone who, say the 5th person comes out, they did better, then you'd have to get rid of one of the 4 people sat on. And I was new to comedy. I was like 6 months in. I was one of the first 4, and then when someone else came on, and I remember they made me a part of their set. They started making jokes about me as well. And then when the host said, shall we get rid of this guy, they put their hand over my head, and the crowd was like, yeah, get rid of him, boo, dickhead. And I was like, oh my God. And I remember my heart just dropping. I was like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not doing this shit ever again. Like, this is horrible. So that was the worst I've ever felt on stage. How hard is it to be a comedian that people don't know? I mean, I enjoy the element of people not knowing who I am as I come on stage and having like no expectations. But then it also, arrogantly maybe, it annoys me if I see a comedian that I've gigged with and I'm like, I'm better than them. But this person who books this gig doesn't know me, and I can't get my foot through the door of like that club or whatever because they just simply haven't seen me perform. I'm like, if they could just let me perform, they'll see and it'll be good. So that's the hard part is not even just proving yourself, getting the opportunity to prove yourself is the hard part. End goal for me. I mean, I want to get more into writing, but I do just love stand-up. I like the element of stand-up where you can have an idea and you can just get it out as soon as you can get on stage. I love that element and get a reaction from that. I mean, like when you write something, you write it down, you edit it, people look over it, and then you put it out, and then people still may not ever see it. Whereas with stand-up, it's like, so I think for me, end goal would just be, you're a box office comedian. Don't need to be world famous like Kevin Hart where everyone knows me, but ideal would be sat in a restaurant, there's a couple at the table next to me, and one of the couple knows who I am and the other one doesn't give a shit who I am. There's like, do you know that's Darran Griffiths? They're like, so? Who's that? That's the level I want to be at.
For people to, like, I want people to see me.
That's how you go, man. Yeah.
Everyone else was like, my writing or like legacy. He's like, know who the fuck I am.
It's all ego. I'm not gonna pretend. It's about the art. It's about the craft. Nah, mate. If I can get the fame just through presenting, I'll do that shit.
Okay.
I'll describe my comedic style. Guess observational. That's the one that people always say. Guess bit sarcastic. People have said I have when I perform, I have a kind of air of arrogance on stage. There's a bit of a know-it-all delivery to how I say things. How I deliver it as facts, and what you thought is stupid, and here's why it's stupid. And I guess that is a bit of a persona. I guess it's also a bit of exaggeration of my actual personality as well. So I guess that's my style. I guess a bit of a sarcastic, condescending kind of. But I'm your friend. I'm your friend though. It's all good. First time I got paid, I think it was like a bucket split at end of a gig, and I think I was MCing the night, and I think I've seen other people MC the night before. Like, and I saw some notes come out of that bucket. So I said, do you want to MC this night? I was like, yeah, I'll MC this night. And at the end, when they came back to me with the bucket, it's like, yeah, we're a bit light, but you know, here you go. It was about like £6 in like change. I was like, okay. And I was like, this road of comedy's long, isn't it? It's gonna be long. That Netflix special isn't coming tomorrow. There's going to be a long road. So I remember, yeah, that was the first time I got paid. Best moment has to be doing my one-man show, undoubtedly. That was the best moment. I think the actual performing it was great, but being on the other side of it as well, putting the pressure on myself to try and sell out 3 different nights and having to organise that. Was nuts. It was a drive because I got so focused on trying to sell tickets, and then once I sold them, I was like, oh shit, I've got to now tell jokes and deliver it, and not knowing I had an hour, but thinking, yeah, I think I've got an hour, and having people like Filio around me who say, you've got an hour, just do an hour, and having people like Kazim around me who started later than me, but it's like, I'm doing an hour this year. I was like, if I let this guy do an hour before me, I'm a pussy off. So I was like, nah, I'm doing the hour, I'm not. And that's the thing, it's about surrounding yourself with people that actually make you do better, so yeah.
And then also, all you can drink, but you just may not recognise any of those drinks. And you look behind the bar, they've got vodka, Wisco, Brandu. I went to Shine on Shake and they had rum spelled R-H-U umlaut M. The guy said, come on, I'll make you sexy cocktail, nice cocktails. Like, you don't have the ingredients. You are not going to make me a cocktail. You're going to make me another double Brandu. I'm going to just sip with this. That's what I'm going to do.
Favourite comedian? Yes, I know a lot of comedians, they tend to go like old school, their favourite comedians, but... So my favourite yeah, that was mad!
Bloopers,
so yeah, my favourite comedian, so yeah, a lot of comics kind of go for old school comedians, but for me, I didn't grow up watching them, so I don't have that kind of affinity. But so I guess my favourite comedian, it just always feels so cliche, say Dave Chappelle, but I think it is. It's Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr. Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr. I always want to say someone British, but I can never think of anyone British. I guess people who are actually on the circuit, actually, maybe I should big up some people who aren't actually big famous people. But yeah, Kane Brown, I've just seen him do so many different types of rooms as well, and he's just the same guy and gets the same reaction from the crowd. So and Slim as well, that's another person. Those people I actually saw in like theatres growing up. So yeah. Has being newly married changed the way I approach comedy? No, I guess not. I guess I incorporate more jokes about my wife. I guess in a strange way as well, it's like I feel like I've got a bit more cachet to talk about relationships on stage now, because like I'm married, so I know what I'm doing. But yeah, I guess that changed. That's the only thing that's going to change my approach, but nothing in like kind of rate of gigging or anything like that. But yeah, I guess talking about relationships, and obviously that becomes a bigger part of your life, kind of in the dynamics with me and my wife. So I guess that becomes more of my material.
It was nuts, man. No, but you got to avoid the worst STD of them all. And what is that? AIDS, you think? No. Unplanned pregnancy. That's the worst. Ooh, that's the worst. And upgrade that, you can have upward, which is unplanned pregnancy with a dickhead. Oh, jeez. Oh, because there's good medicine for AIDS, but having a dickhead child, ooh, that's a life sentence. You have a kid with a dickhead, right? Your child is biologically half dickhead. And you chose to reproduce with a dickhead, make that child full dickhead.
What's next for Darran Griffiths? Well, what was next was to try and do another hour. But this COVID-19 has kicked comedy in the balls. So, actually just pull my finger out and start writing, man. Just start writing the shows and the ideas that I want to do. And guess that's next. But still working on the next hour. When comedy comes back, I want to be one of the first people to be able to deliver an hour and a good hour as well. So yeah, that's next. What's comedy mean to me? It's a form of expression, actually. It's a form of expression. It's a space that allows me to be me. I think a lot of comedians will agree with this. Is you don't do comedy. You like become comedy. You become a comedian. Like you are a comedian, and it's like you then have to contain that part of your personality in non-comedic situations. And before I started doing comedy, I'd find myself laughing at inappropriate moments, and I was an arsehole for that. But then once I started doing comedy, aha, this is where this energy should have been going. It is funny to laugh at a funeral because the way the pastor talks is hilarious. Like, he really doesn't know this guy's name in the coffin. That's a joke. But I can't be laughing at that at the funeral. But if I go on stage and say this, yeah, people are going to laugh at that. So it's things like that.
Well, no, it's not very political in America right now. It's kind of Handmaid's Tale, isn't it? Trying to ban abortion. 2019, trying to ban abortion. Crazy, man. And now what's the options? Pro-life, pro-choice. Pro-life, pro-choice. Can't lie, when I hear the options, they both sound like the right answer, innit? Like, you don't want to be on the other team, just like, what? You anti-choice? No, I'm anti-life. Like, this sounds... Yeah, which team do I pick? No, but if I had to pick a side, I would have to say I'm definitely pro-choice. It's 2019. I think women should have autonomy over the body. You can do what you want. I know, like, when I was a single guy, I really benefited from women doing what they wanted to do. Alright, guys, you slag! Disgusting, man. Disgusting. But no, I'm definitely pro-choice. Definitely pro-choice. Because what's the limit now? It's like 24 weeks, isn't it? It's 20 I'm not sure if she'll be able to terminate that late. Like, not 24 weeks. I think she'll be around like 18 years. 18 years, man! I met some 17-year-olds, like, nah, it's not too late for you to get aborted. So, it's like, what's this? Get off me, Dad. No, I'm so pro-choice. I'm pro-choice, man. I told you. I'm committed to it. I don't just say it. I don't just tweet it. I'm about that life. About that. I'll perform an abortion on your 17th, right? I need that done.
Get a Netflix special. Where do I call it? What do I call it? What do I call it, man? Maybe deranged, but spelt with my name. So D-A-R-R-A-N-G-E-D. Deranged. Smart that. Video hates that. And where I was want to do it somewhere cool. It wouldn't necessarily just be. I want it to be like a theatre of some sort that hasn't had comedy. Like, I think I went to the Royal Symphony Hall a few years ago. I thought this just looks like such a weird looking room. That I thought that would look sick as a backdrop. Like when they do like the camera around the room, and people they'll see like all these different weird shapes coming out of the wall. They're like, where the fuck is that? So yeah, the Royal Symphony Hall on South Bank. Cheers, mate.
No worries. No worries. Your one was the quickest one.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought I was talking the longest.
Under 20 minutes.
Is it?